Bruyne lead at half-time by 3-1.
Welcome back to We're Not Really Here with myself, Natalie Pike, and Shaun Goater and Andy Morrison. And it is half-time in our game against Southampton, and the Blues are leading 3-1. For you, we're going to get the thoughts now of the gents on all of the goals and the action, and there's lots of talking points in that first half. So, gents, first of all, Andy, what did you make of the overall kind of performance in that first half before we sort of go looking in at the 4 goals?
I think we've got to give great credit to Southampton. I thought they were terrific. First 15 minutes, again, they got the press right, the distances were good, they were squeezing up, there was no room in behind, but I think we've gradually begun to pick the lock, and if we can't play through them, then let's go over them. And it was a great ball from Diaz. That was the game changer. You know, they compressed everywhere, and we managed to expose that. The full-back was too narrow. Zinchenko gets in. Great pullback. Foden hits a target, which all you want, and then followed up. But I'm really impressed with how Southampton, how they started the game, but gradually felt their way into it.
Yeah, definitely. And like say with that first goal, so the ball, for anybody that's not seen it live yet, the ball from Diaz, I mean, how many yards do you think that was?
Well, it had to be the best part of 50 or 60 yards, but it's, you know, we were actually talking about, you know, the quality of the passes. We don't often see it because we have these neat, intricate passes, but Diaz hits this 50-yard pass. But we talk about, you know, being a changing moment for us. There was the first 8-10 minutes, Zinchenko was actually playing inside, parallel to Fernandinho, and because it wasn't going right, Pep's made this little adjustment. He's now pushed out high and wide. 5 minutes later, that ball becomes on. He knocks that ball. Zinchenko, the defenders, he's read it wrong. Zinchenko's in, puts it across. Phil Foden does what he does. Strikes a good ball, keeper parries it, and Kevin De Bruyne is there to poach it in. So in that whole goal, there's so much good things. One, the switch of the positional play for Zinchenko. Pep seeing that, because there was a moment of 5 minutes. You normally see him on the touchline. There's a moment, and I'm looking and saying, I don't see Pep. There's 5 minutes. He's going to sit on the bench, and he's probably had words and saying, we've got to do this. Makes that adjustment, and 5 minutes later we score. You talk about things to be happy for. This manager's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
And then for the kind of 10 minutes or so after that first goal, Andy, I thought we started to look really comfortable. And then the first kind of key talking point of the half came in with the penalties. So it was Laporte with what I'm going to say looked like a very soft arm to me. What was your take on it?
Well, first of all, it's the Achilles heel is the corner kick. You know, the two centre-halves there are 6'4", and I just think it was Gundogan just got not bullied, but he got pushed out of the way, and then he got a really good run where Laporte is in that central zone, didn't get to the ball. Keeper's got to pull a save off, and then it is really soft. Listen, it's soft, but there's enough in it, I guess, if they want to give it. You know, has he made an obvious error? No. He sees something, the referee's not going to overrule him, so the penalty's given. But, you know, it's just defending the initial corner better than what we did. Otherwise, you know, that the penalty doesn't come about. But for me, I think once he's grabbed hold of him in modern day football, which we'll come to in a minute, why it works in both ways, you know, it probably enough to give a penalty.
And as, like you said earlier, I guess at that point, Southampton, you know, to be fair to them, they had been playing really well up to that point. So it didn't feel like it was completely against the run of play, although we definitely were starting to get more and more into the game at that point. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they started really well. We scored at a great time. Just as Shaun alluded to, switched the tactics slightly. Zinchenko from an inside went high, found the diagonal pass, and then. But up to then, I was so impressed with Southampton. I mean, they did so many things well, starting from the keeper. Again, like, you know, with all due respect, a poor man's City, really the way they played. Yeah, and then of course the timing was perfect, but the reaction was right. Stuck to the game plan, kept moving the ball, and then picked up eventually on an error.
And then the... Oh, sorry.
So I think it was, for Southampton's point of view, is absolutely right. They were absolutely brilliant. I think it's a free hit for them because no one's really thinking they've had 10 games or so not been able to win a game. They get their first win. They come up against Man City, and it's almost a free hit. It's like, we ain't coming here to lose, but if we do lose, no one's going to say, well, you lost to Man City. So go there free, express yourself, and I think that's exactly what Southampton players have done. You look at the play through the thirds, and I've loved watching it because tactically it's pushed us to a point where we've just had a loss, which we don't even know what losing was like, and we have this adversity. This adversity of, hold on, they're dominating the ball more than we do. What do we do? Well, as champions and talented players that they are, they find a way. Pep's found a way, makes a little change, and all of a sudden, the players are now shifting the ball. We find that we're playing through the thirds, we're playing through them, creating more opportunities. It's really beautiful to watch. It really is.
And we started to play with a real pressure on them, so really not wanting them to get out of their own half. And that resulted in the sort of second big talking point of the game when Phil Foden is putting, a mistake by Southampton means that, and by the goalkeeper, means that Phil Foden is able to pick the ball up in the Southampton box.
Yes.
From there, Sean, in my opinion, it is one of the most blatant penalty decisions that should have been given that I have ever seen. What was your take on it?
Yes, for me, I think it was an easy decision for the referee to call it a penalty. And Phil Foden is being honest by trying to stay on his feet, because when you're a goal scorer and you want to score goals, there's a chance if I stay on my feet, I can get to the ball and I can knock it into the goal. That's Phil Foden's action. So he goes to ground, he's scrambling to still get up, he sort of gets up, gets to the ball. By that, the goal's protected and everything. We know what happens. But the referee doesn't use his common sense and say, no, that's a foul. He's being honest and trying to stay on his feet, but it's a foul and it should be a penalty. And this is where the game is absolutely going now, because at the other end, we have what I think is a soft penalty. He plays into the arm being there. He goes over as though he's really been tugged, and Phil Foden tries to be honest, stays on his feet, and gets punished for it. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Sean, it's really tough, and it's, if Foden goes down, the referee gives a penalty and he waits for them to correct him. They wouldn't have corrected him. There's enough in there to be a penalty, so they wouldn't have overruled his decision. Yeah. So it's such a grey area of football. That's exactly what we've seen there. And give him credit. Over a season, give him credit for staying on his feet, and he'll get more goals. It makes it easier for us to stomach at half-time because we're 3-1 up, and it maybe take the focus off it going forward. But over a season, when those decisions go against you as a fan, as a football person, the only way you can let it go is acceptance. That accept it, move on. Over a season, these things are leaving themselves up.
But do you? Because I sit there and I think, well, the next time that happens, because I don't get the penalty, I'm exaggerating the contact. I'm staying down.
I know, and that's why football's become so difficult to referee and manage. It's become such a difficult game for referees. You know, we put pressure on them. I pressure them as a manager myself. I'm at them, but every decision is different. Like I say, if he goes down, Foden goes down, it's a penalty. He gives the penalty. They then come in and they look at it at VAR and they say, well, it's not a clear and obvious error. It's a penalty.
For me, this is where I feel like the referee should be going over and looking at a screen. And I know we talk about it a lot, that it would slow the game down. But we saw with the first penalty, VAR's not going to overrule that because, as you say, to what I feel, and Sean agrees, was a really light touch by Laporte. There was a touch, so VAR's not going to overrule that. And then you look at the second one, in which we said he doesn't go down, but there is a clear touch by the goalkeeper, but the referee doesn't give it, and VAR doesn't then say. So at that moment, I feel like VAR should be saying, go and have a look at it. You go and have another look at it from another angle. But you're also right, Andy, in the fact that I'm able to stomach it because we got 2 more goals after that. So.
Yeah. It's not so important, but it could have been really important. That's football. That's football.
Absolutely. So 2 goals were to come after that. So fret not, Blues. The second goal for City, Riyad Mahrez. Now, I'm going to throw to Andy because Andy was, just before we came on air, cooing about Riyad Mahrez and how good he has been in the last few months. What a goal that was, Andy.
Yeah, it follows on again that from what we've seen over the last couple of months. He's been a star, he's been an outstanding player, and he's been the most predominant that stayed in the team. And that's a sign of Pep. You know, yes, they're mixing him up, but he has stayed in that position. And you know, as a team coming into, the manager will be saying to Southampton, look, you know, let's not give them anything. They're going to create, but let's not make mistakes. And it's an atrocious ball. I don't know who's played it. Was it Ched Adams or was it one of the centre halves?
Yeah, it was Shea Adams.
Yeah, and it's a crazy ball, but still so much to do. And the key is Kevin De Bruyne's run. Kevin De Bruyne drags the centre half away, which creates the opening. He moves it to the left, and again, we've seen that so many times this season. But Kevin De Bruyne's part in it is massive, which creates a moment. You still need incredible technique and quality. Mahrez is an absolute pleasure at the moment to watch, and you know, like I spoke about for a while about what he brings to the team, and in those areas, I don't think there's anyone better than him in the Premier League. One-on-one situations, he rips you to bits. He did it at Everton, he did it at West Brom, and it's like, you know where he's going to go, but when somebody's that good and the disguise is that good, you can't stop it. And you know, he's a pleasure to watch at this moment.
He really is an absolute joy. Gives us excitement every time he gets the ball. And just quickly, Sean, because you know the half time is running away with us, and we're excited to get back out there. The third goal, 3-1, that really helps to settle our nerves, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is, you know, at this point the confidence is high. Again, if I'm remembering right, it was Mahrez again. He puts the shot in. This is one that comes off the post and gets knocked in. Mahrez, we know when he comes in on that left foot, is either delivering a quality cross. This time it's a shot. Keeper's done well to get a little something on it onto the post, and we're there to tap it in. I think it's absolutely brilliant because this team was being asked a question. City was asked a question, and we could see from up here watching what is City's response, and the boys absolutely responded brilliantly.
And somebody said 3-1 as well for the score. I think maybe you meant 3-1 at half-time, Sean, yeah? Or are you thinking, yeah?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did, of course. So we're just going to quickly, before the second half starts, because we know how much you all love it, but not as much as Andy Morrison, it's Guess the Blue. So, as you know, we take a picture of a former City legend, we give it a bit of a blur-up, and we ask you to try and guess who it is. And we love it when you get in touch with your guesses using the hashtag WNRH. So, tonight's Mystery Blue. Okay, so we're looking for clues. It is, okay. That's looking like the old badge to me. And that, I don't remember that as a shirt. I think maybe that's somebody training there. Now, don't, I think I know who it is. Don't say names, but Sean, and you got an idea?
No.
Andy?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, Andy is like unnaturally good at this game, by the way, like insanely.
It pisses me off. He gets them all right. I'm not happy with it.
Don't upset Sean. So we'll be back at full time to give you instant match analysis as well. And as mentioned, do go and send us your tweets in. We love to read your guesses using the hashtag WNRH. And we love getting all of your social media messages as well. You've sent loads in today, so we'll try and read some out at full time. So we'll be back here at full time. And don't forget that you can get the best commentary available over on the City app, or on the City app if you're watching us on there, by the wonderful Alistair Mann. We'll see you soon.
Well, from a neutral perspective, that was a terrific